Hey guys, Tanner here with an update on my quest for the T206 Honus Wagner. You do not want to miss this update. As a refresher, I started on January 1st to trade up from a 1987 Topps Jose Canseco baseball card all the way to a T206 Honus Wagner. You can follow my progress at T206Wagner.com. Now, here's my latest update. I'm going to be honest, this has been my absolute favorite step so far. Check it out. A few weeks ago, my friend Enrique came over and sold me a collection for $300, with the caveat that I was to do something with the piece signed by Roger Staubach and Tom Landry. Cool piece, but neither Staubach nor Landry are even in the picture. He also included this awesome 1932 Cinella Babe Ruth, but told me he hoped I would hang on to it. Who am I to argue with that? Huh. What? That left me with an awesome collection, $1,247 cash, and a Babe Ruth that's staying in my collection. I knew the collection purchase was a great deal, but it wasn't until I went through everything that I realized just how great of a deal it was. I posted a video of the entire collection, which was nearly 2 hours long. It was a blast, and within a week someone came over offering, wait for it, $1,800. The guy came over and asked me where the 53 Bowman mantle was. I was confused, but he told me there was a really nice one in my pictures. It turns out he was talking about the 1978 TCMA mantle. For comparison purposes, here's the TCMA mantle right next to a real 53 Bowman mantle. I wonder how much a mint condition 1953 Bowman Mickey mantle goes for these days anyway. As I quickly found out, he wasn't the only one who made that mistake, so I decided to explicitly mention that in the ad so no one would be confused. Anyway, a few days later, a guy by the name of Matt came over to take a look. He asked me if I knew about Chasing Cardboard on YouTube. I told him yes, and that I loved the show. As it turns out, he's the man behind the camera. Check it out, it's a great show. I turned around and asked him if he had ever heard of a book, Confessions of a Baseball Card Addict. He chuckled a little and then said, no. Wah, wah, wah. Oh well. Maybe more people will know about my book when it's turned into a movie. Starring Brad Pitt as me, of course. Matt told me he'd have to think about it, and then he left. Generally, that means you're en route to being ghosted, but not with Matt. He actually ended up texting me and asked if I'd be willing to take $1,700. That's a massive jump from the $300 I had into it. He ultimately paid $1,753, which got me to an even $3,000 cash for my flip quest. I told Enrique what his collection sold for, and he was surprised it brought in that much, but was happy for me. I knew I had to deliver in a big way for him on the custom project I was going to create. What happened next is my absolute favorite part of the entire story. Enrique told me he wanted to be completely surprised with what I did with the two signatures. Now, as a refresher, here's what I had to work with, the Staubach and the Landry. Here's what I came up with, the first of two parts of this project. A custom 2-layered jumbo cut signature of Roger Staubach with holographic foil and a matching Tom Landry. These were created to be the centerpieces of Enrique's collection. It didn't stop there though. I wanted to take it to the next level and have some fun with it. Check it out. I used this case as a display piece for the two customs I created, Enrique. But on top of that, I made a little bit of a treasure hunt for him. So there's a bunch of foam in here, and interestingly enough, there's a fun fact. I used this case for my Conseco collection many years ago. So you pull out the foam and then you are met with another note. It looks like there's nothing there, but then when you start pulling up the flaps, you see something shiny. There are 10 cards. They're all in PSA style slabs, and I created a 10 card set for Enrique of his top 10 favorite Dallas Cowboys. Enrique was expecting 1, maybe 2 cards, not this 10-pound monster box. I dropped off this package and I was excited to see what Enrique's reaction was going to be. He actually mentioned that he was going to have his wife record him opening up the package. Gosh, it was so hard to keep my mouth shut and not tell him what was coming in. The package arrived the next day, and after Enrique opened it, he sent me this picture. He said he had goosebumps like crazy. I could not wait to see the reaction video that he was going to send me. Here it is.
Okay, so this started off as part of Tanner's trade quest for T206 Honus Wagner. A couple weeks ago, I met up with him. Everybody that has dealt with Tanner knows that he does some really sick customs. So we made a deal. Part of it was for him to make me 2 custom cards. I don't really want to say what they are because I'll explain it here in a little while, but I've had these for multiple years, or I've had these signatures for several years. I'm opening up the box as I speak. And I got these at a card show. Oddly enough, that's how Tanner and I became friends. And not just the only reason we're friends, but we became friends through the card industry. And you know, for a while he was my dealer slash supplier. So yeah, I got these at a show a few years ago, and it's been sitting in my closet. Part of my quest, or I guess my own personal quest, is to kind of downsize my collection to have more of a collection of things that mean stuff to me, things that I have a connection with. And so this is part of it. These are going to be some centerpieces of my own personal card collection. So I'm kind of excited. I'm super excited to see what's in here. I haven't seen them. I don't know what's in there. I just know what I gave him, and we'll see what the product is or what the end result is. So I'm opening up the box. It's very well packed. Oh, this is neat. I wasn't expecting this. Tanner, you're gonna have to let me know if you need this back. It's a really neat case. they look all right. So there's some foam bubble stuff. I'm pulling that out. I saw one. It's gonna be awesome. I'm freaking out already. So slow reveal on the first one. Oh dude, that's so you can zoom in. It's Roger Staubach. Roger Staubach, that's awesome. One of the Cowboy top greats, all-time greatest Cowboys. So here's the other one, and it's Tom Landry. So that is, and he was even able to keep the best wishes, Tom Landry. So let's see what's in here now. Let me see what he has here. Oh, I guess there's added dig into the foam. So let's see. Let's see. I don't know. Dude. Let me take this foam and throw it in here. I don't know what he did. I saw it. I just took a quick peek. There's another super cool message here from Tanner. Ooh, fun. A false bottom. Yes, a false bottom. That's what I thought at first. And then I saw some more cardboard underneath. So I'm going to save all this because I don't know if he may need it back. All right. Oh my gosh. Holy crap. This is awesome. Dude, this is the coolest thing. I can't even I did not even holy smokes, man. I got, if you can see it, I've got like goosebumps. So I guess he tricked me. A couple weeks ago, he was asking me about like top five Cowboys, and now I'm digging like a 5 year old. He was like, name top five Cowboys. Somebody was saying this and this and this about, who they think their top five are. And I told him, I totally nerded out and gave him, I was like, here's the top five. Here's my own personal top 10 Cowboys. And he has made like a graded, like, so Sean Lee, like classic Cowboys linebacker from my time. Troy Aikman, obviously a Cowboys legend. Dude, this is freaking amazing. Darren Woodson. On the back, it has a picture of myself in case I need to remember who. Oh, and they're even numbered. I didn't even see that. So these aren't in any particular order. Michael Irvin. Dude, this is like my top. This is amazing. Another 88 great, Des Bryant. I don't even, Tony Romo. I love Tony Romo as a quarterback. I wish he had won a Super Bowl. Great commentator, but definitely a Cowboys all time. Man. So I'm going to go this way with Jason Witten, all time Cowboys tight end. One of my favorites, DeMarcus Ware. And then, these are just fantastic. Moose Johnson and Emmitt Smith. I did not expect that at all. This has totally been amazing. Tanner, thank you. If y'all are interested, like I said, I've been friends with Tanner for a super long time, and I didn't expect this. This was amazing. These cards are amazing. If y'all are interested, like definitely this is part of, like, I'm just glad to have been a part of this trade quest. And I think that, if anybody else is interested in T206, it would be amazing. But wow, this is awesome. So thank you, Tanner. I'm truly shocked and amazed. If you need your case back, let me know.
The absolute greatest thing for me when creating these cards is seeing and hearing the reaction of the recipients, and Enrique's reaction has been my favorite. Stick around after this graphic to hear his final thoughts a couple of days after. As for this step in the flip quest, here's where we're at. $3,000 cash, a 32 Sanella Babe Ruth that I'm keeping, and a super fun experience. Now it's off to find another deal or two for the $3,000. Thank you so much for watching. And as always, if you want to join in by offering up something, feel free to reach out to me at tanmanbaseballfan@gmail.com. And you can always track my progress at T206Wagner.com. Stick around to listen to Enrique's reaction a few days later.
I've had a little time to digest everything here and kind of thought about these cards and just, as amazing as they are, kind of what they mean to me. I don't know if some of this stuff was intentional or not, but there's some things I've noticed in some of these cards that I think I don't even know if Tanner realized. So part of this whole deal was trying to scale back my own personal collection. I have a ton of vintage toys, old militaria, obviously books. You can kind of see I had a lot that I'm working with here. And I told him part of my reasoning for making this trade with him was to kind of reduce my collection to a point where I had things that I had a personal connection with. So for example, I'm just going to pull something off the shelf that I have here. Toy Biz X-Men figure. I had this figure as a kid. I lost him years ago, and digging through a bin at a toy shop, I found it and was like, oh man, I remember having this. Instant connection made. So in this lot here that I got from him, is kind of two connections. One is more personal. One is just from my own childhood growing up, and as I got older. As a Cowboys fan, a lot of people ask, you live in Houston, how are you a Cowboys fan? My response has always been, I'm sorry for the light, is that my mother grew up in San Antonio, and back in the 60s and the 70s, that's where the Cowboys are trained, or they have a very large fan base there in San Antonio, Cowboys fan base. That's where she grew up. That's where she became a fan of. And as I got older, being a mama's boy, you're going to love the team that your mom loves. My mother passed away in 2013. And I have an older brother. My oldest brother was also a diehard Cowboys fan. And he sadly passed away in 2008. But they grew up a little bit earlier than me. And so they kind of remember some of this. So I think that's what makes these so special for me. And that's kind of why, if you saw the reaction, hopefully you'll see it. If you haven't seen my reaction video, I sent it. Hopefully it works right. If not, we'll get it up soon. I'll figure out a way. But look at that, and you'll kind of see that's a genuine reaction, because it brought a lot of those connections that I had growing up. So this is one of the cards, and I'm trying to make sure y'all get it without the glare. So I'm kind of looking under. And I will say that this is just amazing. I know it's all backwards, but this is the original picture that I got probably 8 years ago or so. If you can see, there's no Tom Landry, no Roger Staubach, but there are the autographs in the original print. And so, there's the Tom Landry, and here is the Roger Staubach cut signatures. And I mean, when I called him the day before he sent them, I was like, man, I'm thinking maybe like something like Triple Threads inspired, kind of like uh refractor style or something. And I mean, this is everything. This is probably the coolest card set of cards. I think I could have pulled these from a pack, and they probably wouldn't have been as cool as if I had these made. These are amazing. So what these are going to be are my centerpieces to like my top 25 Dallas Cowboy cards that I possess. And these are, I told them, hey, these are going to be the centerpieces. And I mean, he lived up to that. I mean, plus some. And so, like I said, that's a personal connection for me. In some way, I'm able to kind of have that connection still with my mother, with my brother, who were diehard Cowboys fans. I myself have become a diehard Cowboys fan. Well, not become, I've been one since probably 90, 91, 38 years old. So you can do the math. I was about 7 years old when I started learning about the Cowboys. So Troy Aikman, Emmitt Smith, Michael Irvin, Bill Bates, Moose Johnson, Darren Woodson, Leon Lett in the Thanksgiving Day game. I remember that. I remember some of those games as if I could remember them yesterday. In fact, excuse me. So this picture was taken. This is me. This is my brother that passed away. This was the Dallas Cowboys Texans game in 05. My brother was actually buried in this jersey. And so, like I said, it's a very personal connection that I have. More than just a fan, more than just a sports team, but it's part of my family. When my mother was going through chemo, I'd go to the hospital and watch the games with her. And it's funny, I remember a game against the Bengals where we're cheering, and the lady runs in and is like, "Is everything okay?" And we're like, "Everything's fine. We're cheering for the Cowboys. Like, you can leave. It's okay." But it's stuff like that I can relate to the Cowboys, to my family, to my mother, to my brother who are no longer here. Um, and I don't know if this was intentional. I'm gonna have to ask him. Um, but as we were kind of doing this, he reached out to me and asked me, he's like, kind of tricked me, and I guess I should have seen it coming. Um, he goes, hey, group of people were talking about the top five Cowboys, and who do you think the top five Cowboys are? And I should have known better because nobody just has those random conversations because it's quite obvious who the top five Cowboys are. So me and my nerding out of the Cowboys, I gave him the top five all time. And then I said, well, that's kind of unfair because there's, so many greats. Although I've only been around to remember the last 30 or so years of the Dallas Cowboys. So I gave him my top 10 from when I grew up. And they weren't in any order, no order whatsoever. Just, hey, if I had to pick top 10, these would be them. And so he did me a complete solid. Let me try to get the glare of the computer to stop chasing it. Maybe that's the best that I can get. But as you can see, he did a fantastic job here. What he did was basically make kind of like a graded set for me of my own top 10 Cowboys cards. Let me see if that helps any. Kind of not. All you're seeing is my reflection. That might be the best. And so there's some things in here, like if you look, it says Enrique's top 10, Tony Romo. And one thing that kind of caught my attention on this, and I don't know if this was intentional, and if it is, you, sir, are a genius. Last year, my last year my wife had a miscarriage, and it's been a very difficult last couple months, last year or so for us. And so I've haven't really had many people to reach out to, and Tanner, being somebody that I've known for 10 plus years, has always been a real listening ear. And I don't know if he knows this or what, but I've seen it a couple of times. I don't know. This, you can see I have plenty of tattoos. Well, I've seen and I thought about doing something. My wife has got one, and I thought about getting a tattoo as kind of a remembrance for this moment. I don't know, if it would have been a boy or girl, twins, whatever. But I've seen in a lot of tattoos that they have a similar pattern like this. And like I said, where you have pinks and blues and oranges and yellows, and it's this paint splotch pattern, and it's on all of the cards. Every single one of them has it. And it's interesting. I don't know if this was intentional, but to see this was something that I thought of a day or two later, that I've seen this similar paint theme with memorials for people who have had miscarriages. This is similar to what my wife has on hers. I don't know if that's an official thing or if that's just an artistic thing, but it is pretty interesting that he chose that theme, and given everything I've had. And so here I have a connection to, once again, to something that I love, and also something that's been very tragic in my life. And we'll just kind of go over these. So there's Tony Romo. Like I said, these aren't in any order because I don't want somebody yelling at me or, finding Tanner and then asking him what was he thinking. It's Emmitt Smith, Michael Irvin, Jason Witten, DeMarcus Ware, Des Bryant, Sean Lee. Let me turn this and see if maybe that helps. Troy Aikman, Darren Woodson, and last but certainly most not least, Daryl Moose Johnson. And so, like I said, here as a connection to something that means a lot to me, that brings back memories of like simpler time of, hey, like, you don't have to worry about some of these things. And that's what these represent, but they also have that connection to something that was a really like painful part of my life, and has been, but has also like given some catharsis to it, right? And it sounds silly, that somebody can find healing in sports cards, but I don't think it's the cards so much. I don't think it's the paper and the shininess. I think it's the thought that goes into it, and everything that he did for this. This had initially intended to be to help him out. I made this trade because I was slimming down my own collection, trying to do something for myself, trying to make something that you know reduce the amount of what I had, and he kind of turned it around on me. And I mean, it's amazing. Like, I saw these, I opened them up, and I mean, to see the first two cards was amazing, and then to see the paper and then kind of dig underneath and then see that, it was just like, oh man, like the truly, if, like I said, hopefully he can post that, but look at that reaction. That's a genuine reaction from me. I've been I'll tell you this, I've been in law enforcement for 15 years, and I've seen and been surprised by a lot of things, and that by far has been um one of the coolest things that I've ever seen. So that reaction is genuine. um the freakins and all that I was saying in there, use your imagination, but that probably would have been substituted for a bit more um mature audience only language, because it was just, it blew my mind seeing this. So like I said, I can't thank him enough. This was amazing. And I don't know, there's I've seen him do customs for other people, and I know that that's something that he's excellent at. He excels at it, but to me this was a very like personal, um a very personal, intimate thing that he did for me. And I don't know if it was intentional. I don't know if he knew about the color scheme. And I don't even know if he understood the connection between, these Cowboys legends, Roger Staubach and Tom Landry, and what I had with my family, and my family history. In a way, I associate the Dallas Cowboys with my family. I have, like I said, it's granted, if the Cowboys don't do well, I don't get mad at my family. It's just a positive memory that I share, that it brings, through the Cowboys. I remember these good times, and in that they are a vehicle for me to reminisce and remember those good times with my brother and my mother. And so in that case, in that sense, it's not just the sports team. It's not just that fixation. It is a connection. So, like I said, this was intended to be a short video. I mean, I'm blown away, and it's been 2 days since I've gotten these cards, and I mean, this is all I thought about the last couple of days. I've got holders on the way. Um, just amazing. I've shown half a dozen people already some of these cards, and like I said, I'm just blown away at the thoughtfulness that went into this. I wasn't expecting or intending it to to be this emotional of a thing for me. But it's turned into that. So, like I said, I can't say enough about them. They're amazing. I'm truly. I called him as soon as I was done with the video and was just like, oh, dude, I can't believe this. Just amazing, amazing stuff, amazing cards. Um, these will forever be in my collection. If these are now my top 12 Cowboys cards of all time. They'll stay with me. And it's just, yeah, I can't say enough. So, uh, thank you. Hopefully some of this makes it in there, but like I said, you know, part of his journey, I'm just glad to be a part of it. I'm glad that this is a story that came out of his quest for the Wagner T206, and there's no reason why he doesn't deserve it. This is a you know it's amazing. This guy's gone above and beyond for me, like I said, because of our friendship, and it's amazing. So thank you, Tanner. Hopefully you make it to the end. So I just want to be there to see it. All right, bye.